That's the most anticlimactic rash I've ever seen.
I've got good lights.
I was expecting like a what's the guy's name from Batman? Two-Face?
Two-Face. No, it's not Two-Face. What I did was I only washed my hair today. So I just stuck my head in the shower and washed it. And I got shampoo, anti-dandruff shampoo, on my skin, and I don't think I properly rinsed it. And then like 20 minutes later, I'm like on a call. Eyelids, forehead, cheeks, burning.
Well, wait, a couple things there. Speaking of the anti-dandruff shampoo, I went out and bought a bottle of Nizoral after last week's show. Okay. So I don't know if you have like a referral link there or something, but used it for the first time this morning. Pleasantly surprised with the smell. I think a lot of times, worried about using like a medicated shampoo like that. It's not going to smell very good, but this one was very pleasantly, smelled good. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is my mom, who's actually in the medical field, she was telling me, I think we were like at a pool or something over the summer, and she pointed out this lady that had like a rash on her shoulder and like back. Yep. She was like, all she needs to do is wash that part of the area with an anti-dandruff shampoo. Yeah, you knew that?
Yeah, because a lot of one of the primary causes for common dandruff is fungus. And that's what your mom was probably getting at, was that lady's got a rash and it's from some fungus.
And she didn't know, obviously, because if all she needed to do was throw some Nizoral or Head or Shoulders on there. But my mom was like, I'm not going to tell her, but she's walking around with that rash at the pool, and all she needs to know is wash it with some anti. So I was like, all right, that's a nice little pro tip, Mom. If I ever get a rash, just throw some anti-dandruff shampoo on it.
So what you can do, so the first thing that you do, all right, so it's medical advice time with Dr. Neal and Dr. AB. All right, guys. What you can do if you get a rash, say you're going to the gym, you're hitting the weights, all right, you're coming back, and something funky shows up, like a circular shaped rash or something like that on your arm. First thing you can do is you hit it with this stuff. You do that first. If you've got good skin, it will respond well. If you don't have good skin, if you've got eczema, perhaps, like your boy, it's not enough. Do you know what you do next, AB?
You get some eczema cream.
Close. Actually, yes. But this eczema cream is called bleach.
Oh, God.
And so what you do is you don't, and guys, this is not actual medical advice. Don't do this at home. We're completely speaking in hypotheticals. What you do is you take the bleach and you dump it on the whole area affected. Because you can see where the rash is, but you got to get the stuff where you can't see where there might be a rash situation, like about to come up. And then you set your timer for 30 seconds. 30 seconds is all it takes. And then you rinse it off in the shower, just like that. And that's also a really good way to remove your fingerprints if you're about to rob a bank.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah, so there you go, guys.
So we got Slippery Itch in the chat. They might be able to...
Yeah, Slippery Itch for your thing. I don't know if straight up bleach is where you want to go.
I think some antibiotics might be, but maybe a Z-Pack is what Slippery Itch needs. And this was Talking Medicine with Neal and AB. Now to stocks.
Give me a 1 in chat if you've been watching Unity. Ticker U. 1 in the chat. 1's in the chat. 2, if you're a little crybaby and you poop in a diaper. So Twitch has no delay, so they get here first.
We were just talking about Take-Two Interactive on the previous show, Power Hour, and I went to Twitch, and it's just fascinating that like Grand Theft Auto 5 is like one of the most watched games on Twitch still to this day as a 10-year-old game.
RP, baby. Do you know what that means?
Roleplay?
Yeah. It's evolved. Dude, oh man.
I know, like
If you're-
people have like their whole characters, and you go do your.
Yeah, it's really good.
insane.
Captain
I have a
Cappy.
I have a theory that they have Grand Theft Auto 6 ready to go. Like all they need to do is release it, but they're like, hey, if this one's still doing so well, we might as well keep milking the, ringing the towel, get all the money we can out of GTA 5 before we get to, GTA 6. But
Absolutely. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, what do you think any one of us would do in that situation?
I'm a man of the people, so I'd be like, you know what?
The people love GTA 5. They love the product as it is. There's no reason the product has. So here's what. Okay, guys, let's talk. Let's do a little product stuff really quick. By the way, I also shouted out LAC. The thing's up. Give me a 1 if you got my LAC pick. Give me a 2 if your little baby would poo pants. The Sofi's finally breaking out. Ooh, Sofi's in a little situation. Thank you, Captain Cappy. All right, we'll keep this one up. We'll keep Sofi up, so you guys can. Ooh. So I'm trying to consolidate the stocks that I'm trading because I'm long on stocks and I'm like selling puts on them at certain times and I'm buying calls on them. It's really working out for me. I'm in a really good relationship right now with certain stocks. And then you come in here shaking this thing, Captain Cappy. Shaking this thing right in front of me. Everyone's like, oh my God, can you see what that stock is doing in front of me right now? It's so degrading. And it's got my full attention. I can't think about anything else all of a sudden except for SoFi. So we're liking this, and we'll talk about this in a second. What the fuck were we talking about? We were talking about Grand Theft Auto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so product maturity, guys. Like we've talked about this with like Apple, for example, where like the iPhone, it has this product maturity cycle where it reaches peak maturity. You get your early adopters, and then you get your laggers coming in, and at that point the product dies unless there is a feature set added to the product that materially changes the value proposition that will once again bring in these initial people, which are like the early adopters, mainstream, and so forth, and then the laggards, and then you start again the product maturity or product life cycle, this is my illustration. Hopefully this is working for you. I can also pull up a
Kind of looks like a turtle.
Yeah, it does. But then GTA, man, they have done it repeatedly. It keeps being reborn as essentially a new product. And if you're doing that, there's no reason to add another product to your line. That's just bad business. If a company's doing that, that's like they're overexpanding laterally. So it's like when a company has products, this is toothbrush company. You start off with the toothbrush. All right, you don't start adding other toothbrushes. Right, you add things that complement that product and extend its life.
Roy, are we not good enough for you? Ripster will be on in about 15 minutes. Stick around.
Roy. All right, so let's look at SoFi.
Wait, Captain Cappy's saying my girlfriend keeps doing this with our relationship. I'll refer to it as the product life cycle in the future.
I actually saw that, but I didn't want to go too into it. I feel you, man. I feel you. All right, so yeah, we're looking at SoFi, looking really, really, really good. Thank you, Chamath. Looking real damn good. All right. Let's see if let's get our Fibonacci out. Woo! Woo, baby. Look at that. Look at that. Stopped right on that 0.38. It's in the buy zone. This thing's in the buy zone, all right? Where's my RSI, for goodness sake? Oh, God. Still room to go on this thing. I think SoFi hits 1556, no problem. And then it's got this young gap, though. From here, just closing the gap. Ooh, nice 10% move, swift. Not a good day to buy just calls, though. Ooh, and it's still going. Woo! Any SoFi longs here? Is anyone in this thing right now? Okay, give me a 1 in the chat if you bought down here at the bottom. If you caught the bottom and gave it a good spanking.
Dude, I'm kind of in this because my mom opened a brokerage account and she was like asking me for stocks to buy, and it was just after like SoFi had dropped a lot, and I was like, I don't know, SoFi looks kind of like it could be a good deal right here at like I think it was at like 14 flat or something, and then now I've been like checking on it like every single day, even though I don't own it, because I'm like, fuck, is this thing keep going down? I'm gonna look like an idiot in front of my mom, and I'm trying to get a nice Christmas present, so I might be off the list this year if we don't see SoFi like break out.
I think a nice flat 14 is like galaxy brain advice, spoken like a veteran technician.
Yeah, I was like, hey, 14, like,
mom.
Yeah, mom. And then she bought a stock that I'd never even like heard about, and I was like, all right, well, maybe I should look into this one.
All right, guys, give me okay. So here's our SoFi people. Got those 1250 calls.
Oh, you deep in the money, Justin.
Justin, let's go. Jack Nicholson. Okay. My Roth is 90% SoFi, 14 average. Wicked.
Mom?
Way to go, Miles. We got these ones. Damn, y'all been knowing SoFi for a long time. Let's go, Captain Captain. Has the Ripster event already ended? No. Now I understand why we have so many viewers right now. Ripster will be here in about 13 minutes.
He might be here in about 3. He might be joining us a little early.
And here, I'll make you guys feel better. There, okay? Now relax. So this thing's breaking out. This is a double bottom. Give me a 1 if you want me to break down the price structure, or give me a 2 if we want to just move on to stocks from chat. Because this thing's doing what my favorite stocks do. This is the best thing. So 1 is for me to walk us through what's happening. 2 is to move on to some other stocks. Of course, Twitch is on it. Our Twitch frogs.
I forgot what the 1s and 2s were.
1 is to go through it. 2 is to move on. Okay, so it's majority 1s. Man, dude, this app needs a polling system.
It does. It has. Oh, you're saying the streaming service we use. YouTube has one.
Yeah, I know, but it's tough to flip over to YouTube, and it counts out our Twitch friends.
True.
All 2 of them. All right, so I'm gonna turn off. So to the Ripster, Eddie. Eddie, I'm gonna turn these off. So just make sure you breathe, okay? Ripster will be here in a minute. All right. Here's what's going on here. This stock has been in a pretty sustained downward trend. But it found a bottom here. And then what happened when it found that bottom? It reversed into a short-term upward trend. Meaning that if you were like some of the folks on here that were buying when it was at 14 recently, and you did the same thing when it was around 15 back here, you saw that reversal pattern, and there was about 16.5% gains to be won. And if you got your option pants on, that's some serious volatility for making that cha-cha. All right. Now, things get extra exciting. Why? Because we are in a longer term, if you're looking at everything, longer term downward trend. And we seem to have once again found a bottom that has a higher low. So what we look at this as is, because it touches this sort of area twice, we look at this as a double bottom. And this is the side that the wallet's in the pocket on that side. And so there's a couple things happening here. Number 1 is this is a reversal pattern, meaning if you want to catch a short-term or long-term upward trend, you want to get in as early as possible. And the way that you get in as early as possible is when you call out the end of the downward trend. And that's what this pattern here is telling us. All right. That's what this double bottom pattern here is telling us. Now, there's another ingredient that bears mentioning that we're going to talk about that's going to play into what this upside movement could look like. And that is this gap. Right? When you've got a gap in price, the ensuing price movement as it approaches the open and close of the gap tends to swiftly move through that gap to achieve the other side of the gap. That's called closing a gap. So what we see right here, let's delete everything, is number one, we see a double bottom pattern. Number two, we see the neckline of our double bottom has been broken out of. All right. So just the double bottom, we are looking to, if you want to look for your price target from just your double bottom, you take the lowest point up to the neckline, which is where the butt crack ends. And then you add that to the neckline, which tells us that we're looking at about $16 coming out of this thing. And we're well broke above that butt crack. All right. But we've also got this gap. All right. So that means we can get a swift movement. Bless you.
Thank you.
Even further up. Even further up. Now, the awesome thing to do that a bunch of people in chat already apparently have done is to really call this pivot, this angle, this turnaround to the upside, and go along with some type of options contract to leverage this movement. And some of you have done that. Now the opportunity to really confidently do that might be gone because this candle's so big, the options contracts are going to be very expensive, right? They're cheap though when they're going down, when it's going down. So if you're able to call this bottom, that's the time to get it. But nonetheless, even if you just want to get common stocks, let's look at this thing on a weekly and just see what it looks like. Yeah, if you want to just do common stocks, this is a great time to enter. You're just going to want to see a very clear close above this previous red candle.
Yeah, and then Neal, just quick producer note, your screen is frozen on your face. We got your chart, but not your pretty face.
Guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel. Really appreciate it. In Crypto Morning Show, then that bottom was resistance. Very close. Very close. That bottom was support, which is the opposite of resistance. If it's under the price, it's support. If it's above the price, it is resistance. I'm doing my ventriloquist act right now. Yeah, I can talk about Palantir for sure. Let me try to unfreeze my camera really quick. Producer AB, I'm going to exit and come back.
Sounds good. What is up, y'all? There, yeah, we got Ripster coming on about 10 minutes or so. Excited about that. Hopefully Neal will come back, being able to move his face again. Let me know what y'all are watching in the chat. I'm looking at Sofi now too, so shout out whoever pointed that out. And let me pull up my chart real quick, because this was a stock that we've talked about a little bit on the show, but I initially, pointed it out as a potential bottom, and this was Array. So let's go to the chart, go to the year, and well, here's where I screwed up actually, Neal, is because I saw this here as the bottom and got long calls like right around here, and then the stock actually dipped. And so my calls tanked a lot, and I kind of just like held on strong to them though. And now we're finally trading up. So I'll show you real quick. I got these $20 calls, and I think today for the first time they're up $175 today, $50 total. I think today is like the first day since I bought these like a month and a half ago that they're actually in the green. I don't know why I didn't necessarily like bomb out of them when the stock dipped a little, but I guess that just shows goes to show you that even when you do see a bottom like this, it could continue to bottom a little further.
Yeah. Here, let me show mine really quick. So I think it'll still go higher. That bottom, we covered this on the show, dude.
I know.
That was like this. Okay. But it was that's a really good pick.
But you're saying when we covered that on the show, we speculated that it could go down further from there?
We speculated that this level was a neckline, not the bottom. The bottom had happened previously. You know what I mean? So what you did was you saw this and you said, that's the bottom. But what do we like on the show? We gotta see two of those. Yeah. But there's a damn good pick. I've been watching it. Okay, so Palantir is the one that we said we would cover.
Palantir. Justin,
okay.
man, I'm trying. I got ADD.
What is the stop? Oh yeah, did you put a stop loss on that call? Did I ask you that?
I don't know how to put stop losses on for options. I know how to put them on for common stock, but
so for the options on Robinhood, after you purchase, if you're just purchasing a call, after you buy it, calculate the percentage that you're willing to lose on it. Like I almost always do 25% is like my uncle point. And then just go to sell your option and then hit the gear at the top. And then you have to calculate it. You can't tell it what percent. You have to say, if I bought $120 calls and I want a 25% stop loss on it, you have to do 120 times 0.75. And then you set your stop loss to $90 in this instance, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, wait, can you do it on the computer or just the app?
I think here, you want to let's go.
Yeah, here, I'll share my screen because I actually just got into some Sofi calls. I paid about $1 each for them, bought 3 of them. So this will be easy to do the math on because we obviously know 25% would be 75 cents. So if I go sell to close all 3 of my contracts at 0.75. No? Yes? No?
No. So that's just going to sell it right away. So you want
I was going to say that's not what I want to do.
hit the caret like above the little drop down thing. Stop limit. That's how you do it. And then you don't just do 0.75. You'll have to you take whatever the contract price was, and then you multiply that by 0.75 on your own, and then you enter that as the limit price. Does that make sense? Because it doesn't let you say a percentage. So what was the cost of the contract?
$1, like $100. That's what I'm saying. This
100. Oh, then literally point. Okay, so you just did it in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of folks are saying don't use stop losses. Hey guys, this is 100% like safety first. All right, and if you get stopped out, you get an alert and you can get back in.
So you're saying my stop price should be 0.75, but then I don't put the limit price in?
I do the same for both of them.
Okay, and then if it
might not be the best way, but that's what I do.
And if it gets down to that level, it'll just like sell it automatically, and then I know, hey, the most I can lose will be 25% on this trade.
Yeah, so if you buy, exactly. If you buy $1,500 in options, you don't want to lose all of that at once and have a super bad day.
So how do I know this isn't just gonna like sell it automatically at 75 cents?
Because it's a stop price. So that means if it gets down to that, it will trigger selling at the price.
You are placing a stop limit sell order to close 3 contracts of a Sofi.
But look at where it is right now. Let's do this off stream. How about that? Because everyone's getting all stressed out.
All right, I don't like that. I'm not trying to stress out the viewers.
All right, so we're looking at Palantir. All right, one's in the chat if you're in Palantir. Zeth feels smarter now. Thank you. Okay, so we got our Palantirs. Our Palantirs are here. Let's go. God, so smart and good looking. God, who does your hair? What's Sabra? What a trick! Sabra. The only thing that we're doing is setting his stop loss to 75% of what he bought the contracts at, just so he doesn't get his face ripped off.
Which in this case just happens to be 75 because the contract was worth $1. So it made the math easy.
All right, so lots of people are in Palantir. All right, give me... Okay, so now we've got... All right, Sabra's making me feel bad. So give me a 1 if you want to go through stop losses on options in Robinhood, or give me a 2 if you want to go through Palantir's chart. 1, Robinhood, 2, Palantir. Oh, Saber, my bad. Robinhood. I'm doing what you guys want. Jack Nicholson is 2. So far, okay. So far the ratio is split. Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, okay. It's Palantir. It's Palantir. All right. We can do the Robinhood thing another time, or today at the end of the show if we have time. That's totally fine. All right. So I'm on the weekly with Palantir. I want to get a good idea of the overall price structure. Still room to go on the RSI, which is really nice to see. Our neckline is right where I have this alert set. So I'll draw that line really clearly. Neckline is our resistance level. Tested here, tested here. All right, that means it's our target from where we are now, and then it's the level that gets us really excited when we break out above it. Pattern here, you can call it whatever you want, but it's a time of oversoldness that is rounding back up. It is a time of accumulation that we can with an educated guess forecast will precede a markup phase for Palantir. And so far it's looking really good. What is that level? This level is just under 28. Not this. Oh, we're over on time, so we got to bring Ripster on. That level is 27 and 50 cents. So really the thing is, if you're looking at Palantir and it does like what Unity is doing, which is gets really well above that neckline, you're looking at classic market cycles of accumulation, markup, and then distribution. This is where that cha-cha is. So we're trying to get that cha-cha on PLTR. I'm feeling good about it. I've been trading it a couple ways, which I can go over in more detail once we have more time. So now, nothing but illustrious guests here on Get Technical. It is my and producer AB's great pleasure to bring on Ripster. Clicked it at the same time.
Rip, how's it going, man?
Hey, man. 1 second. Yeah, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
We got you on a different show this time. So this is Get Technical, where we like to
okay. Yeah.
Go through technical patterns and whatnot. Have a lot of fun doing so. So we thought you'd be the perfect guy to bring on.
Okay. I did want to talk about some psychology stuff today as well, but if you have time, but I can start with whatever technical you want to discuss with me.
Rip, let's start with a chart just to get an idea of what you're looking at today, and then you can segue into that stuff that you have prepared. Because I don't think we've really ever talked about psychology on the show at all. So that would be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, there are certain things I see every day. New followers come, and I see the same kind of the mood, the same kind of expectations, or in new traders. So I really wanted to talk about it. I don't have time to do webinars and all, and so only time I talk with people is when I'm on Benzinga. And so I thought this today will be a good day to discuss few things regarding your personality and trading, positivity in life and trading, and of course I'll talk about some EMA, clouds, and technicals. So yeah, just let me know what you want me to start with.
Here, let's do it. This is the People Show. So guys, you're all very excited. Give us a 1 in the chat if you want to talk about mindset in trading. I mean, this is stuff that might take you a lot further than just looking at tickers for the day. So drop the 1s in the chat to talk about that mindset stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes hand in hand. We were just talking about stop losses, which of course you can tie into kind of the psychology, mental side of trading. If it's something that you don't want to be watching every day, you can set some stop losses, and that way, not necessarily have to stress over and be watching your positions all the time. So I do think it's important that we do talk about some mindset stuff on Get Technical. And even if we do start with the psychology stuff, we will get to the EMA clouds.
Yeah.
I'll talk about a bunch of our recent plays, bunch of our big winners like NVIDIA. And last time I was here, I talked about Apple, how 150 was a big level. And I told them that when that one breaks and then we go into 154, 155. So I don't know where did we go, but we really did good at that. So, I've talked about it always when I'm here talking about my large caps, low floats, or biotechs. So I'll talk about some picks at the end, whatever. But let me start with the psychology, right? So there are two kind of psychology. One is the psychology that's a chart. A chart that we see is nothing but a human psychology on a paper. I mean, it's on a screen now, not on a paper, right? When you, if you see the something which is going lower and lower and making, breaking all-time lows, 52-week lows, right? That is a human psychology of fear and getting out, right? And they just don't want more losses, right? So that's that fear, and it gets on top of it and that's why you see that the chart is at lows, right? And then if you see a strength in a chart being consolidated at a certain level, there's just a human psychology which tells us that the buyers see that support level as a key point to buy it, right? So they think it's a good level to buy, and they keep coming in. It's a human psychology. And when the chart starts to break out, the human psychology of greed or missing out comes in, and that's why chart starts to make new highs and highs and highs. So that's a chart psychology. I didn't really want to talk about the chart psychology. I always talk about that. There is a chart psychology that it's high probability if you trade a strong chart, low probability if you take a weak chart, right? A weak chart, which is at 52-week lows, every bounce is just an excuse for bag holders to get out. That's their psychology, that they just want to get out. So I'm not really going to go into the chart psychology. I just want to talk about your psychology as a trader once you start, getting into a trade. So everyone and each one of us we are made different, right? I'm an emotional, I don't have much patience, but some of you might have more patience, and some of you, it's easier to say. Sometimes it's easier to say, okay, make some discipline in trading. You have to do this, do that. But sometimes we can't just change how we are built, how God built us, how's our psychology. So trade around that, right? You can't just look at this trader, oh, how does this trader doing so good? Anytime I go in, I just take a little bit profit and I get out, right? Because that trader might be built differently psychologically in his mind, that what works for him, holding longer term, that's why he swings more. Maybe you are nervous, you can't hold much. Maybe scalping is in your psychology, right? So you just have to find out what is your personality, basically, right? What is your trading personality? Once it's trading is not just you come here, you learn some indicators, you read some books on investing, and then you say, okay, I can make a lot of money, right? So when I was losing, I was 3 years, I believe, 50,000, 100,000, so many accounts, right? But I did some mistakes which were based on my personality. Some things I could change, right? Some I couldn't. My personality is not dip buying. When I see a weakness, it gives me anxiety. A lot of people come to me, hey, why don't you buy this? This is cheap, right? It's not cheap for me because it gives me anxiety. So I removed that part from my trading. I go with breakouts. I go with the strength. So that was me, right? So find out what is your trading personality. Go with that. Don't, if you see 100 people, oh, this guy's making $1 million, this guy's making 200,000, don't go chasing him, right? Find your personality. That's the key. It's all mental game. And once you start to go dig deep into yourself, and then you can find a system based upon your personality. You could start being build more conviction. Maybe you are an options player, maybe you are a large caps player, maybe low floats, crazy moves, is not suited to your personality. So that's what I wanted to talk about, about the personality part. I'm sure it will resonate with a lot of people, right? A lot of my followers, because I just wanted to put that out, right? So if you are new, just take it slow, figure out, you can be something different. So what I was doing, nobody was doing, right? If let's say I was on Twitter, so I saw a lot of people do a lot of stuff, but I nothing was, according to me, not appealing to me. So I found my own way. That's why I think I'm successful today because of that reason, right? You can be different. You don't have to be same as some other person. Just be different, right? Money is irrespective. I mean, if you don't find your strength and just chase your weakness or somebody else's strength, you chase that, maybe you won't find success, because you never really identified who you are. I mean, it's kind of psychological stuff I'm talking, but it's very important. It deep down, it will give you motivation. It will give you conviction. So just wanted to talk about that a little bit today. Yeah.
That was really good. We're getting a lot of comments in the chat that are resonating with that really well.
Yeah. So if you don't have any question on that, right, I will move to my next topic.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll just chatters. You can drop questions in, as long as they pertain to the topic. Don't, be thoughtful and make sure that you're keeping us focused.
Okay.
But Rip, I think you're good to keep going.
Yeah. So now I want to talk about positivity, right? What is positivity, right? Positivity is like, let's talk about in regards to the new traders who come on social media to learn, right? So positivity in regards to them, right? When I was trading a few years ago, there were a lot of traders I never liked, right? But even the traders I never liked, I thought they're shit. I still learned something out of them. If I'm something today, maybe I learned a lot from the people who I never really liked. So you don't really have to be, if you are negative in your life, right, it will show up in your trading, or maybe you are being negative because you are dejected, desperate, whatever. Watch everyone. Even if somebody on Twitter you think is a pumper, or even social media you think he's faking his portfolio, doesn't matter. There's always something to learn from even a losing person, right? So you have to build that mindset. Once you build that mindset, you will grab so many good things, and you can evolve and improvise. I always say, watch. Trading is a discovery, right? You don't have to ask everyone, hey, what you doing? What indicator are you using? How did you do that? No, you can watch quietly. Even if you don't want to follow somebody, just watch them. Well, how they are good at something. That's why, they are on there. So if you build that mindset, then your whole energy will be focused to that. Just to give my example, I was on Twitter. I was looking towards all the gurus. What are they doing? There are a lot of people I never really liked, right? But I never just went there saying, hey, what are you doing? With your shit, you're that. It won't do anything. It won't help me. It won't help my trading. So, but just watching and even learning from the people I never liked, I improvise so much in my trading, right? I even from let's say I was watching this guru who sold his indicators for thousands of dollars. So I watched him. I didn't like him, but what I found out that if these indicators could make you successful, why would he need to sell it? Right? That's why you don't, I'm not an indicator guy. I talk about EMAs and all that. That is just to read the trend, right? But for me, support resistance is, which is most important. And it's just me. I'm just giving you an example. You can even learn something from a person you don't like, right? That will shorten your learning curve. Do that, and you will see the difference in you, right? So you see somebody, you think, okay, this guy is, oh wow, he's shit. I can't be him or her. No, you can be better than him. Why do you think you can't be, right? Because you already, bring that negativity in yourself and dejection, and then that will never give you any returns. So just focus on positivity on trading. Even when you are losing, find something in your losing trade, be positive. So other thing I always talk about is how bad you want it. Do you want it bad enough that every time you do a same mistake you slap yourself? Do you want it bad enough that every time you blow up your account, you cry, wipe your tears, and come back? Do you want it bad enough that you sacrifice your party time, your drinking time, your personal time, and even after falling 20 times to get up to the 21st time, do you want it that bad, right? So how can you do that? How can you have that kind of conviction and belief in yourself? That will be from positivity. Just focus on yourself. If you are losing, nobody cares. Its fight is with you. You can go on Twitter and say, oh, this guy did that, this guy did nothing. Those guys will keep doing trading, making their money. But you have to focus on yourself. So it all depends how bad you want it. So positivity, personality, and your self-belief. Just believe in yourself, right? I'm an example. I have cried enough. I have slapped myself so many times. I used to, like, for example, my biggest mistake was shorting a high uptrend stock, right? Like Tesla is breaking out, I would short it, and when I will be out of my, blow out my $100,000 account, I changed that. I took that part of weakness out of me. I didn't go crying on a Twitter that, hey, you told me to buy puts on Tesla. That wouldn't do anything, right? So now I can, 100,000 is a scalp for me. Why? Because I changed. I never thought I'm less than anybody. You have to do the same. Just do these things. These matter a lot in your trading. So I just want to talk about it because in past few days I have seen a lot of some kind of negativity floating around. But this is for those who don't have it, or those who feel dejected, and for everybody, I guess, all the new traders. So I won't go more deep in that. I think that's around psychology I wanted to talk about.
That was really, really good. I mean, pretty much any level of trader should be hearing this type of thing. No matter what market it is, no matter how big your account is. And what I especially liked about what you said is to focus on what works for your for your own personality.
Yeah.
Because I've done that a lot. Like a lot of what we do on this show, Rip, is we have guests on. They show us how they look at charts, and then I try to learn their strategy, and then I'll use it for like a week or something on the show. So I go through a lot of different indicators, a lot of different just formulas for different types of strategies. Yeah. And I've tried some stuff that has not worked out for me. And I've gone through periods on the show, guys, believe it or not, where my account is just flat or I lose money, and it's just because I'm experimenting with things. But just focusing on like really simple stuff that works for me has always been the most profitable. So that's just a little testimony.
Just focus on your strength and how you want to trade. That's about it.
Do you want to take some questions? There's one question that keeps coming up, and I'm wondering if it applies to you. It's do you have any books that you recommend that focus on psychology?
Yeah, I personally believe the books won't do it. It's just your personal experience that would. But I think Jesse Livermore book is pretty good. You can read that because that encompasses, that's a real story and that everybody can relate to it. So Jesse Livermore.
So producer AB, can you get off Bumble and drop that in chat?
Livermore.
What was the book again, Rip?
Let me see. I'll forget the name. Yeah, I'll just post it somewhere. Stock operators. Yeah, I just put it there. This is the stock operator.
Reminiscences.
Reminiscences of stock operator.
So there you go. That's on the screen. So did you read a lot of books to get to where you are, or is it mostly just learning on your own?
Yeah, I started a lot of books, but I didn't finish them. I mean, the only book I really learned something was for my swing trading strategy, breakout strategy from William O'Neill, right? But most of it was just like I mentioned in my earlier interviews. Once I started, once I started on Twitter or StockTwits, I used to put these charts out, even if they work or not, all my swing trades. But then I started to know what works. So I know there's two different things. One is execution and one is education. Doesn't matter how much education you have, if you cannot execute, it won't matter. You can read 100 books, right? Maybe you start executing and then you will get that knowledge with experience. Just take a trade, you just take 1 share, 10 shares, whatever. Just focus on something and just go back and journal them. Journaling that what you do is the best education. I wouldn't say the books helps, but books will be not the final answer to your success. Everybody wants books, every new trader wants books, or every new trader wants a video or something. Just don't worry about it. Even if you want to be a fundamental investor, take a chart and then maybe read about fundamentals a little bit, but then look at the charts, right? Like I'm a techno-functional trader. So I would say books haven't really been part of my success. My success has been losses. Learning from the losses has been my success.
So I think we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you to share a chart and just talk a little bit about how you use your famous exponential moving averages.
Yeah. So talking about that, let's talk about a few things, right? I have few different setups. So I trade large caps, mid caps, growth, and biotechs, and low floats, usually, everything. And I do day trade and swing trading as well. Before I go to the EMAs and all that, so my swing trading strategy is based out of two things. One is buy, sell, buy higher, sell higher. Then there are some reversal setups, gap setups. Those are my swing trading setups out of the ranges or range boxes. So I tell them, I show them, like, I don't know if you can show my NVIDIA. Let's not even go back. Let's look at the NVIDIA chart, right? So NVIDIA,
Rip, do you want to share your screen?
Oh, I have 4 or 5 screens. I can't really share.
I can pull up. I'll pull up NVIDIA on mine.
Yeah, maybe I'll be ready one day. Right. So where you draw a triangle, I draw a range. Yeah, that particular breakout. So now I'm talking about these breakouts. You don't really need an indicator to trade that. So I keep telling people, yes, when you go intraday, hourly, you can use the trend following on EMA clouds, but you don't really need to. We made so much money on this trade. All my followers made so much money on this NVIDIA trade, and I keep telling it's not a rocket science. People just don't open the chart. They have 20 indicators on their chart. Their chart is cluttered. They don't see the clear picture, right? The picture is here again, the human psychology. What did NVIDIA do? NVIDIA has tried 1, 2, 3 times to break that range. 3 times. More times the resistance is tested, bigger the breakout, right? Even if you take, there's the first 2 times where it was rejected, the second time was closer, and the resistance is never a point, it's an area, right? So so that was a breakout trade, and there are many examples of this, thousands of examples on my feed. A bigger trade before this was the AMD trade, which went out of the $100 range, right? So you can open AMD. I can quickly show that. We have to go to weekly or monthly to get a better view, right? Okay. So people don't zoom out. That's the other problem, right? People are trading. They just look at a smaller view. Just expand your view. What do you see, right? If you draw that, how many times 100 has been tested, right? When it broke, I told people, like, my old followers know my teaching. They don't even come to me. They are just making these trades on their own. Right. So you don't need an indicator. So first of all, I know a lot of people, they want your EMA cloud. Indicators is not an answer. Answer is the chart, and chart has a psychology, what's going on. Support resistance is only the leading indicator. Okay. Now, yeah, okay, we can talk about what do you need? You need a system, of course, right? Let's say this is my swing, this is my breakout system. But then how do I manage the trend? Like, how do I see if the trend is holding or not? So I built a system of EMA clouds, right? EMA clouds is nothing but the EMAs. I use 5 and 12 EMAs and 34 and 50 EMAs. They are lagging. They are not they are nothing is absolute. They are not a magic tool. They are lagging. But once I know that there's a trade has been started, right? Something has been started. As there's a trend, I can read the trend. EMAs is a confluence of buyers and sellers where they converge. Most important thing to remember is anything which is extended, price extended from EMA, it will revert back to EMA because it's extended. Every time extend, it revert back. So for me, if I'm looking at this chart, right, I know the for the first trend is that green line 512, right? So that's I will hold my option calls or whatever I'm trading on that. Then my second level of risk will be the blue line, right? But that might be too wide for me to hold too, because I might lose more. It depends upon chart to chart. But I might buy a dip on that 3450 if I'm a dip buyer, right? Or I can wait a consolidation on that area. So you see that how these converge. It's pretty clear, right? So yeah, you can use them intraday on 10 minutes. Like I don't know what kind of chart I can show you today what we were trading. XQBG. Okay, let's look at this intraday chart we were trading. XQBG. 10 minute. Can we do 10 minute?
Yes, this is 10 minute. SQBG.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, this is DKNG. Oh, maybe I lagged. Oh, I'm looking at, sorry. I was looking at a different screen, So is this this is 10 minute or is it 1 hour?
This is 10 minute.
Looks different on yours.
It could be the indicator is different.
No, okay. You have after hours on it?
I don't think so.
But anyways, so let's just talk about this. What we are looking at. If the chart is a little different, but the concept is same, right? The first support resistance is most important. Either you are daily trading, weekly, swing trading, investment. That is first, right? Then you need a trend system. My trend system is, let's say, SQBG. I know it's holding that 7 level, right? It's not an investment. It's a day trade, couple of day trades, whatever. But you see there's a line that's 3450 EMA. It's holding that. It went over it and it reclaimed it, right? And then so that for me is the bullish. But now I have a resistance as well on the top. What do I have? I have a resistance at 9, right? So I know when that resistance breaks, it will push, it will run. It will run, right? So this is just an example of a day trade. But once it runs, how do I manage my trade? I need a system to tell me when to get out, when to hold. And for that system, for me, is the EMA cloud. I would like to see that 512 uptrend along with the price. Then I would like to see 3450 uptrend with the price. The moment it breaks down, the candle breaks down, I would think that the trend is broken. I would start thinking about exiting my position, right? And also treat it as a support and resistance. Along with the price levels, you can treat these EMAs as support and resistance. And again, I repeat, nothing is absolute. You have to, in your strategy, you would have to find something that is leading. Support resistance is leading. Everything is lagging. If somebody sells you an indicator, you don't need to buy it. You just need to find your own conviction. No indicator will do anything, right? People ask me, hey, Rip, why don't you sell your EMA clouds? Why are you giving your edge to everybody? That's bullshit. That's a bullshit created by people who want to sell this stuff, right? I mean, if something works, it's better. If more people know it will work better, right?
Yep.
And when it doesn't work, we find something else, right? There's a change is the name of the life. You keep moving on, but you have to stick with your system. A lot of times, what people do, and I tell you one thing too. A lot of people use my EMA clouds, but maybe not all of them are successful. Not all of them are successful. Where should I go? My daughter. So So a lot of people are not successful because even if you give them the best indicator, the best system, they would still not be able to execute because let's say 2 trades fail. Oh, this system doesn't work. I'm out. No, it doesn't work like that. So you have to stick with your system in thick and thin. A lot of times when I'm taking a trade, like I always, even if my trade fails, I post it there because it tells me when my trade fails, and then I try to find the variables, the parameters. So there are various variables. There's market sentiments. Low floats has a theme. Large caps would have the sentiment about how the IWM is working, NASDAQ is working. Other thing, new traders, make sure you understand how the market works. A stock is not just a stock. It's just a minute part of the whole stock market. Each stock is part of a sector sentiment. It doesn't matter you trade low floats, large caps, mid caps, everything is a sector. Then there's a theme. If you're day trading, intraday trading, you know the theme where the market sentiment is. So understand that. Don't just sometimes, there's a trade and let's say I give a Facebook trade and the Facebook falls down. I will get text, from the noob traders. Hey, Rip, Facebook is falling down. You said buy these options. Did you look what NASDAQ is doing? Did you look what VIX is doing? Right. So have that big approach. Combine everything. Find a system. Find a trend following system. Find few of your setups. I have 5, 6, 7 setups. I have intraday setups. I have swing trading setups. I have investment setups or conviction play setups. And biotech, whatever. But I have my setups that I follow, and then I have under the setup I have this my system of trend following. Other thing people always ask me, how would you know it's a pullback or it's a trend change? You would know if you follow a trend following system. That's again the same thing I'm saying. Let's say let's say let me give example of BBIG. So people say, oh, I thought it's a pullback and I bought it and it's going down, down, down. How did you decide it's a pullback or it's a trend change? You didn't, because you never had a system, right? Whenever it was falling down. So clearly for me, my system is EMAs. They tell me you can find a different system and combine it with support and resistance, whatever. Once you do all that, you will find success. Secret of success is finding your own conviction. I have said it 100 times. I keep saying it again and again. No guru, no guru, no me, nobody will be, there for your success. So yeah, that's all about how I use the EMAs and clouds.
Well, Rip, I wish we had more time because this is, for me personally, I could talk for another 2 hours and just listen.
No problem. That's fine. I appreciate bringing me on and time to talk to my my followers, my friends, and everyone. And hopefully, I gave some good contribution, and maybe I'll make few good traders today. So
wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. So thanks so much, Rip, and we hope to see you again.
All right, brother. I appreciate it.
All right. See you, man. You did good, AB. You did good.
I didn't do good. That's Rip, just dropping the knowledge, my man.
That is a damn good person to listen to and a great guest. All right, guys, we're just about at that time. Thanks for sticking around. Make sure that you like and subscribe so that we can get more good guests like Ripster. I feel refreshed. I'm excited to trade after everything that he was saying. The amount of clarity that he brought to everything they said was fantastic. All right. So guys, if you know what you get for liking the video, drop in chat. Let us know. Let us know what you want. It was our pleasure, the Asness. You are welcome. It was honestly as great for us as it was for you. Yeah, he is amazing, Christian. Yeah, Shelly wants to listen to Slayer. I don't think we can. I think we'll get copyrighted for that. So I'm pulling out VU. This is my S&P ETF that I like. I mean, dang, look how well it follows that EMA. Real nice. This is just a great example of an asset that's almost always in a trend. And then you can see how it's playing with those clouds that he was talking about. Absolutely beautiful. Captain Cappy nailed it. That's right. We are at the end of our show now. What's up next, AB? Why don't you tell folks what's up next?
We have the roadmap coming up, which is Benzinga's very new NFT show. So if you're interested in NFTs or want to learn more about the craze that's going on, stick around for the roadmap. Should be a very interesting show. We got Chris Kache on there. I know I'm going to be watching because I want to know what the next NFT project is that's going to blow up.
All right, so there you go. Oh, that's not it. What the hell is that song? Oh, yeah.
Zig.
How can I forget? Oh, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Thursday edition of Get Technical. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us in Ripster today. Very, very cool. Nothing but illustrious guests. All right. And you can thank producer AB for making that a possibility and a reality.
Boom.
So, guys, make sure that you like and subscribe. Hit the bell if you haven't already, so that producer AB can keep getting those slick haircuts, those Benzinga shirts. We make him buy those. We don't just give him the Benzinga polo. He actually had to pay for that. So if you want to keep producer AB decked out in the finest corporate swag, make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe, and the little bell. You know what to do. And next up is the NFT show. And until next time, until tomorrow, happy trading, my friends.
Got fun day, Friday fun day tomorrow, 1 p.m. We'll see you there. Stick around for the roadmap starting right now.